with that follower glitch yesterday? None of your business. But we do have 3-minute videos now.
But I thought your whole thing was short videos.
Long videos are cool too.
Who you telling? Well, looks like I'm the short video king now. Reels reign supreme.
Oh, we also added co-lives.
Whoa, you stole that from us.
Oh, not so fun, is it?
Oh, God, I wish you got banned.
Earlier for the one that I'm doing currently, but at the moment my iPad is dead, so I can't make any TikToks, even though I should be making like 10. So I'm gonna be making this, then I'm gonna do the 5 with the stuff there on my phone. Then I'm gonna put hold on here, so I could you know, then connect. Then connect it to the live. Okay. Cash out 9. It doesn't matter. I can go into debt. This one might be this one might eventually be useless and so on because I can't pay anymore. Legitimately that give the total sales value of the Jokers. Max of 50, currently 12. So this is not useful right now. Create a planet, no. Not just one card to gold, which I would like to select. A 4, because I'm not really going to use a 4. So I've got money.
Just attack twice. Nope. The fire shot is live, which doesn't help. Yeah. Yay! But he's gonna shoot me and then realize. Oh, imagine if he drinks. Please tell me he drinks. Oh yes, you have wasted 2 shells for me and only 1 blank. So that means it's more blanks. Okay, now it's back to normal, so it's 2-2. 50-50. 50-50. That was bad. I'm the same health anyway, so it's fine. 2-2. Now it's 1 blank to 1. Yeah. There's 1 more blank. Oh, okay, that's painful. Let me open this up. Yeah. I just need to open this. It is like a couple of minutes on, don't mind. You could tell this is coming on the 13th. This video will be out on the 19th. 15 minutes. He's not coming by. In the dark, da 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 da.
It's back! So yeah. Let's talk. Okay. I need to talk about one thing, which is abundantly clear. It's not part of the review, so I'm not going to talk too much about it, but it is simple, which is basically, when Wizards of Waverly Place originally aired, I watched it. After a certain period of time, I rewatched it. So, I love Wizards of Waverly Place, the original series. I wouldn't be able to be like, and this happened at this episode of this. Again, no, because at this point, because at this point I've watched too many series and I probably should stop watching series or TV shows because I'm watching too many stuff. And two, I'm a dumbass. But yeah, I do like the original series. There are certain moments I like and certain memories I like because of the show. I definitely also liked the ending of the original series with the actual, like, Tri-Wizard tournament because I think it's really good. The episodes that involve that are really fun, and how it does it and how it wraps everything up is really fun. So, I've known about this show for a while. I even went to someone else while I was working at a specific company because I don't want to say which company I used to work for. And by the way, it wasn't bad, I just feel not to. And I went to them being like, oh yeah, there's been rumors of like they're creating another, like, a reboot, or like they're bringing this back. Not reboot, it's not technically a reboot. It is technically a sequel series. It's like, oh yeah, this is happening, so that's happened. But I've heard stuff about it for a while. I've been keeping an eye on, like, when the first thing of like, ooh, something's happening. So yeah, I did know about that. And I was excited. And I like it. Not only for the idea that this feels a bit different to the original series, which I think is good. I know a lot of people say that the setup of this, in a way of like the characters, how they interact, is similar to the other one. And I will say, fair. Fully fair. I can see a couple of differences, but if I'm like, the Justin's like oldest son and Justin himself is a bit different. You can make counters. Like, I never saw Justin in the same like awkwardness as sort of his older son is. But maybe that's because like doing that sort of stuff is like I'm sort of like used to it, and maybe I've got rose tinted glasses on. I always forget. I think it's like, this is why I'm bad at names. But the two sort of like best friends to these two, I don't see the same because they have different quirkiness. But again, besides quirkiness flavors being more jumpers, cats, and this one being more, emotional in a good way, but more like, I don't know, it's weird. The two sort of friends seem a bit different, and I'm sorry, I'm bad with names. But yeah, and now it's spoiled. Okay. For most of it, you kind of deal with Monster of the Week, or like Spells of the Week, which is basically what Wizards of Waverly Place was. Here's a new spell, but like the other one was, here's a new spell that they learned in class, here's how it can get messed up wrong. And you get that, and it's fun. And I really like it. And I really think it's interesting. And this one, I like that sometimes you bring items, you bring this. I do think that's interesting. I also like the idea that in season 1, in the first, not season 1, this is season 1, but in Wizards of Waverly Place, besides, I think, some people either coming or going, or when Justin
and why am I forgetting Lena Gomez's name? I can even remember the actor's name, not the character. Alex Russo characters drop, and they have to like fill up by doing extra curriculum. You have the besides that shift and the weird one where one turns into a girl at a young. Actually, no, why not one? Nah, it turns into a girl into a younger age. I don't know why they did this. I just know they did. That was a thing that they did. Besides those two, most of the time you can feel the format. I am obviously going to say that the one thing I do hate, and it is kind of spoilers, this intro is like the final intro to the original Wizardry of Waverly Place, which was fine. Even this one is fine. The music is fine and the music is good. But, and a key but, the first intro was better. I can remember that hands down, which was you start off going to the shop. You see Alex sort of like go up, oh, I'm late, do some spells to go down, which was her character. Sort of like being the person who would use magic as like, oh, first solution, I can figure out the rest later. Then you have, I think, Justin, who was going up, doing everything properly, everything correct. Brushes his hair. I'm here, I'm proper, doing the right thing. He gets trapped Mira, which isn't a character thing, it's just their dynamic, which I think was useful. Then you go to Max's character. Yay, I remembered another name. Who turns an orange into a cupcake. And I like that because that part of the intro is useful for like, he's not a person, like he will turn it back, he's like, yeah, just turn it back. Where like he won't use magic for like what I would say Alex, which is more like, oh, I might need to do this. He'll just do it for like convenience. Like Alex will do stuff like, oh, I messed up, I'll just fix it with magic. Max will do stuff because it might reward him. I don't know, maybe both are the same, but you get the point. And I think Max in the original series, I think a lot of people put it out perfectly, where the original series, and maybe this with the new sort of like family, where you have two characters as the main focus, and then a comedy one, which for the original series was Justin and Alex, and then Max is just there. I'm sorry people who like Max, but he has character arcs, but I feel like it's... I love that I'm talking about the original series now. But again, then you see the mum. I think it's like Gina's character, where it's like, oh, don't do that. And then you do that, which shows like she's been a parent. And then you go down to the layer, someone's stealing the computer. It's like, and then he looks at the camera where it's like, he sort of shows in his like teacher's side, and it's like, and when he does this, it's sort of like, yeah, he might not see things through. Again, I refer back to just go to random items and show clips. Which I would say this one is at least better than that one, I admit, because this one has each one sort of like do a pose and not just do like a bunch of clips, which I never liked. But besides me talking about the intro for like 3 minutes, I just love this. I love how this introduced, and also, final spoilers, this gets the sort of Justin's kid their magic. We don't know why they lose their magic, and I feel like that would be an interesting question. And it's Triwizard Tournament. I just said 5 minutes ago, and now I can't. So, how will they do this? And will there be a disestablishment of that? Because I think that system was always stupid. Like, legitimately. And I would love if they question, no, this makes no sense. And that, I think, would be fun. But that's just a personal thing. So yeah, you can tell that I love this series because I talk about it so much. So I definitely recommend it, including the intro for 2 minutes. But yeah, it's really good. But having all of that being said, even old, new, I hope you enjoy, and good night.
Okay, that was so coincidental. I got that one instead of like 50.
I'm gonna go to the next round. Psychic. You must play 5 cards. Okay. Okay. Five. That means I get to use this lucky card, so let's hope I get something useful. One hand! One hand! I won! I won! You... Okay, 9. So I'm up by 3. Okay.
Yeah, no, there's a book lines. But I've still got 1 charge. Are you kidding me? That is really annoying. Yeah. Yeah. But I think the next one will or yeah. Okay. Shoot me, I get injured.
Uh-oh, how unfortunate. Da 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 da, why are you going that way? Why are you doing that? That's very confusing. Okay, let's see. I don't think I can get anything else with this.
I think. Sorry, I forgot it. I kind of find it useful, but you get my point. Whereas, like, I get. Whereas, like, stuff like this thing could get you like cancer and is like seriously bad. It also has environmental, like, there are more greenhouse gases produced by cows farting. Actually, search that up. It's a fucked up thing. It's all really effed up and stupid, and there is actual benefits to that. But if you say, as like, oh, you're a horrible person because you eat cows, or like, oh, would you eat a human? 2 questions. 1, are you just implying a cow is just as important as a human being? If you say a dog, personally me, no, but I don't think it tastes good, and if people do eat it, that's not for me to say. People do eat dogs, and I'm not gonna complain. It's like, that's a thing.
Sadly, it's Tuesday. Get it? It's bad, I know. So, yeah. Freaky Fridays. Compared to the one that I did yesterday, which is 10 minutes. Sorry about that again. This is going to be less because I already knew about Freaky Friday, but more specifically through the other one that I watched, which is going to be reviewed on the 14th, which is some clips from the 2003 version, which I know there's another version which exists and also a sequel to the 2003 version. But I watched only the 2003 small version where it's like two people switch. This is a bit different because I knew the story kind of a bit, and this is good, but you can. It's not bad in that way, but you can tell that this is an old film, and this isn't. Oh, by the way, times were different and like lessons, because you do get some of that, but I'm like, that's the past. I'm not gonna go on about that. There's enough more important things rather than, by the way, here's some lessons in these films that have this and that, and besides the point. The one thing which I do think is interesting is it's fun to see like there's cars moving and be like, that's a green screen. I know I could talk like, this is a green screen. It's not like there's a clear outline on me. But I do acknowledge that it's interesting to look back at like this. So yeah, I do find this fun. The one thing which I like as a spoiler is I like how at the end, and it's a small thing that is like, you have these two that do their thing, and I don't know if it was sort of like sequel or just doing it like, oh no, where like you have the father and son being like, oh, you can't beat me for a day. Oh yeah, you can't beat me for a day. Oh no, please don't. It's like, we've done this. No, we're done. We're out of here. So I just like the figure being like, no, fine. We're not gonna try. We wouldn't have listened anyway. But I just like Bunny. I sort of do prefer the modern one, but I will talk about that in the modern one. But for this, I think it's fine. It's fun. It's interesting. It's a short one because it's an older film. But it is fun. So yeah. So I hope you enjoy and good night.
Are you kidding me? I just love that. One hand, baby, one hand. Oh, this is so hilarious. One hand. Taro. Ooh. Okay. Oh. Yes, I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take this. That's amazing. I don't really want tarot cards right now. Tarot cards are good, but I don't need them. Yeah, blind hand.
And yes, I am pausing every single time I do this, it just gives me a bit of time to think. But yeah, oh no, like if they're doing something with a koala, the koala's going, the koala will just straight up die. Let's be serious here. If it's like a racist berries with a koala, the koala will just straight up die. The koala does not eat anything other than elliptics leaf, and I don't think it will survive. Okay, so 2-2, and then shoot. Oh!
We gain free coins. Okay. This just looks like a distraction, like really annoying. Also, I can't do anything more, so I'm just gonna talk for a couple.
I would like to point out that all of these people are fucking idiots. It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna bid for one tree. How much do you think you're gonna get for that one tree? It is one tree. You are not gonna get for it. It's like, how much paper do you think you're actually gonna get? Like, the tree's old, the tree's big. But most likely, if it's an old tree, it's not made with anything, like, useful. It's like, what?
So this is going to be interesting because I have an idea that I want to talk about, which is nothing to do with Joe and a theory. So, yeah. So before I go into that, because it would technically be spoilers, what non-spoiler stuff could I say? I like it. This is fun. I like the idea of learning about this. And I also like the idea that the group splits up at a certain point, because I like the idea of, like, they are, because of what's happened in the last, also I don't know why I blew them up, because who cares. I also am like, okay, what's going on? What is this person? How does they connect to this person? And it's all about trying to figure out what is actually going on, which is fun. And I just love the idea of it. I also like the idea that when you go into more of it, you get each one of the different sides, and learning how they all connect at the end is really fun. But, so the one thing that I found interesting is that there's a scene where, like, a couple of dinosaurs escape this underground setting. I don't know how accurate it is because I can't actually find any evidence of it. But I think it's the same one that you have the Chris Pratt character escaping, but I don't know how true it is, and I might be an idiot. I also like the fact that this is split. I also like the fact that seemingly the Chaos Theory seemingly to be around the second movie, or at least after the second movie, or during it. I don't know. And the first series, which was The Park, took place after, like, the first movie. So, would they do, like, a third separate series? Like, do 3 separate series around, like, the third movie? I don't think so. Because I don't think this is doing as good as the first series. I don't know. But this is just a fun thing that I had in my head. That you have the first series connected to the first movie of sorts. Second, and maybe a third one, the third one. I don't know. I just thought this was a fun idea. But yeah, I just like the series. It's fun. So yeah, I hope you enjoy, and good night.
I'd like to also point out, you can prove 100% that God does not exist, okay? And if you're like, yeah, I've 100% proven God doesn't exist, does that mean religion shouldn't exist? No! Because overall, it doesn't matter. It's like belief and hope. On one Add an extra $1 of interest for every $5 you earn to This is useless. I have a debt card. This is literally pointless to me. Okay. Okay, this is A. Yeah, you can get both. Creates a random Joker. Okay. Destroys one random card in your hands and enhances 2 to aces. Okay, let's destroy 2. I've got enough 2s. I destroyed the king! No! And it actually it is still pretty decent. No, I know I can't go anymore. Yes.
I was going to take my certain heal rather than gamble heal, which is only a 50-50. You can only kill one anyway, so it pairs. And then he's going to shoot me. Ooh! And then he's going to shoot me. Oh! Surprisingly that happened. Never mind. I will still get injured with 1. Dead. Oh, it's not dead. Okay, careful now. We're both on 1 life. Okay. Take a gamble. Never mind!
Is it not coming towards me? This is very bad. Okay, I want to hear one of this.
My friend, you have met a terrible, terrible demise.
Yes, because I'm dying.
But, I don't feel too bad about it.
You don't?
After all, if it weren't from me, it would have just been from someone else, you know?
You're the only one here!
I guess what I'm trying to say is life goes on.
Yeah, I know that.
Well, for everyone else,
Yeah.
life goes on, not for you.
Unless you believe this is in hell, but besides
That's
the point.
neither here nor there.
Yeah, that's neither
It
here nor
reminds me
there.
of one summer day in the park. I was having just a delightful picnic with my good friend Orville.
Okay,
I said to him, Orville, I
what?
have a story.
Oh, what's the
He said to
story?
me, What's the significance of the story?
There's no reason.
I said to him, Orville, not every story has to have significance, you know?
Absolutely.
Sometimes a story is just a story.
Yeah. I am going to not succeed. Dad. Oh, I actually have the right one. Okay.
Flight 291 is now boarding. All passengers, please proceed to gate 4.
Thank you. I was like, yes, very important, but do kids know that? No, probably not. Well, that makes sense.
Sorry for the cheesiness ahead of time. We're running this together once we know this is bad. So yeah, the one thing I like about this, because this is short, because I found this and I was like, oh, this is coming out soon, and I might as well watch it because it's sort of fun, and that's it. I don't have a big reason to watch this. I found this, it looked cool. End of discussion. And that's it. It just looked fun, so I was like, oh, this is so fun to feel, fun to watch. So I just carried on watching it. It's about like these two sort of having a connection and coming together. But yeah, it's fun. A lot of people are like, oh, maybe you should add more. This is mostly not analyzing. I see analyzing as me being like, okay, here's the details. If there's something I will say it. If not, this is just my opinions. So yeah. The other thing that I think is interesting and I like is there's a conversation between the dad being like overbearing because of what happened in the past. And I like the idea of being like, oh, she needs to do this, be this. And like the idea of like him then being like, oh no, you are actually good friends. Obviously, I am extremely simplifying it, but I just like that sort of like arc, as it were, where like, if I'm correct, she was bullied in the past, and that's, I think, there's a couple more motivations, but one of the things I like is that sort of like idea of like, but I just think it's really fun. I love this series. It is good. It is not one of the ones I would watch, but I started watching it and I'm like, I'm gonna finish it because it's kind of chill. So yeah. So yeah, like I keep saying, this is not a series I would. I just started watching it and was like, this is fun. And that's it. And because usually I'm like, I watch a review. I'm like, I'm just gonna do it anyway. So yeah. It's kind of a weird thing, but I just like sometimes adding this and being like, this is what I thought. So yeah. So I hope you enjoy and good night.
Don't know how I did that. I think it's a miracle. Oh. Yeah, about to kill your daughter, that's what you're busy with. Yeah, I was gonna say, it's personal to one of us. Lisa, I don't think it's you. Actually. Also, I got rid of my 2 aces! I'm a dumbass. But I got 2 more, and I'm going to use my lucky cards because lucky. Also, I have an ace that has that. I don't know.
Let's see what happens if I do this, if I know there's 2 blanks. Does that change anything? Oh wait, it actually does! Okay! Okay, what the it literally changes what it is to, like, bullet or... It randomly changes it, so it just so you can't determine if I was the bullet or not. Second shot is blind. Okay.
Okay, so questionable fighters. Up to fight night now. Or so choose them. Fright night is normal. Fright nights. What's fright nights? So 2 easy ones are questionable. Fight now, fight and breakdown. What's fights? Fighters. What are fighters? Are they in
I don't know if it is. Can I have fighters? Who are in fighters? Who do I add? Golden puppets are left behind, lethal attack, deadly, wise, almost twice. Okay. So who do you want me to add? If you want to give me a chance. Okay. You want to do.
I just have a terrifying thing. Let me just. Oh no, never mind. Real disease.
More Netflix! Even though this is clearly Disney, but more! Irony. So I re-recorded this because I said major spoilers, but I like this because this, alongside one other, is sort of building towards the Defenders, because at this point... What? It's okay. Yep. Because at this point, and by the way, anything in these series I am going to consider part season. It's a bit weird, but so they're not spoilers. So, Daredevil Season 1, Jessica Jones Season 1, Daredevil Season 2, Luke Cage Season 1, and Iron Fist Season... No, not Iron Fist. Iron Fist hasn't happened yet. I know it's weird, but they sort of intermingle. But I'm not going to say too much of it now. The only thing that I do like, and some people have said, I don't know who, I don't remember the YouTuber, I really don't, because I am an idiot. But it's one of those things where Season 1 of... I literally just said it. Daredevil has, obviously, you have King Fist, who has, and I think they pointed out, he has a physical opponent who you have to fight and combat. And then you have Kilgrave, which, because of his mind abilities, is a lot more psychological. But, and here's where the spoiler part comes in, one thing I like with this one is you get a villain that is built up, and then dies. And I like that. Because it's like, this is a situation where, like, you feel like this is going to happen, and then one of the villains, because all of the villains are, here is a villain with this big motivation. Like, none of the previous people who are the big sort of problems didn't die. Even in Daredevil Season 2, King Fist was around until the end, Kilgrave was around until the end, and then he died. And then you have the Hand, or the ideology discussion that you have between the Punisher and Daredevil in Season 2, but none of them, besides the Punisher, but that's more, he's still having a moral debate over that. But overall, it's still sort of like, he's around. And this is like, nope, he's dead. And I like it because it shows that, like, in this area that has people with different goals, having him die. And when you see the people, like, analyze this, that, and the other, it's really interesting and really fun. Again, I like Luke Cage. I didn't watch too much of Luke Cage. I remember bits of it. I don't know how much I did actually watch of it. Because I remember his whole backstory. Because I remember all of that and all the visuals of that. Again, I watched some of these, but not all of them, and I forgot most of it. I just came back to this because Daredevil Born Again, and then I finished Daredevil Born Again because of Screen Crush, and I wanted to finish that. There is a couple of series that I'm doing right now that I haven't watched, and I don't get because it's a series I don't get, but this I did. So I did watch it before they did the analysing, and this I didn't, so I didn't. So this is me catching up with stuff I should have known by the time I watched Daredevil Born Again, but don't think about that too much. But yeah, I think this is interesting and overall good. I love the character. I love everything about this. I find this fun. I'm interested in season 2 because I know roughly what it's about, but I don't know how they're going to do it, and that's why I'm excited. So yeah. So I hope you enjoy, and good night. Okay, I'm gonna see if that gets me anything better. I think maybe one more, like, parry. Yeah, I think I'm getting above 3 minutes, which is not great. Yeah, just B. I need to get time down, but I want to get it with lives. So live first.
$4 for every poker. No. This is useless. Actually, this might be. Choose one of 2 jokers. I don't want joker cards! Stop giving me jokers! I've got an amazing hand of jokers. Cards. I don't want a joker, please. W money, max 20. Ooh, W money. Max 20. Okay, so I'm gonna... Actually, no, I can't use that because I'm constantly in debt. Please rank of 2 cards. I've got 4 on the free. That looks good. P-roll.
I love it also as one of those things that he's gonna injure me and I'm gonna die. Yeah, so I'm dead. Okay. And that's it.
Thumbs up if this is everything. Just before, I just want to make sure playing it safe, because this sounds fun. I love if like people give me challenges for this. Just give a thumbs up. Go ahead. Good. Also, sorry if I die a lot for this, because I will die a lot. Okay. Okay, so let me just look. No one's here, so I don't care. Aren't you? Okay. Oh, shoot.
Shoot, that is how the vent system looks like.
I would like to point out. It's like I would like to point out that doesn't exist anymore. Who watches the news when I can get news from here? It's like realistically, there is a thing where it's like you can't take certain things for granted, but that's the same. I'm not gonna say trust anything you hear online. Correct, but you can't say the same like you can't trust everything you hear online, but you can trust everything you can hear on the news. Because they both have biases. That's my point. Whereas, like, I love that you can use YouTube places.
So yeah, more of this review. Battle of Britain. Again, I have a couple of these. There is one I'm actually skipping in the one suit because I've got these which has 1915, 16 and 1718, which 1914 I don't have. But again, I'm just wanting to play these because I have them and because I'm wanting to watch them and I want to kind of watch some of the DVDs I have which also are sort of documentaries. I'm kind of just being like, this and what's this? I mean, like, here's the thing. I don't know how many people will watch this. It is actually, I think, a serious battle at Britain at War, World War II. I don't know if there's any more. I just found these. So I'm doing them. Battle of Britain. It's fun. It's a fun little documentary sort of series. I don't know. It's fun to watch. I don't know. It's what to say. It's just fun.
That's why I'm like, I'm going to be completely honest. There's some episodes of The Simpsons where I was like, this shows really bad examples. Definitely were like, with some things with me, I'm like, I'm fine. Because overall, like, the conversation is, like, a little bit not being had. And someone was like, by the way, I hadn't thought about, like, ADHD tablets because of that. The Simpsons, like, fair. Not the best example, but fair. Valid. But I love how they're like ex-convicts, criminals. Okay, I'm just.
High score aunt. A literal fool, what's your excuse? Seed, copy. What does this do? You run. At the end of each round, $2 per hand. No, I'm fine with that, okay. Interest is only up to 5. Okay, I have to play it more carefully now. Okay. Reroll blind book. Okay. I'm not doing that. I want to play. I like playing. Yeah. Free. I'm going to take a cut of it. Okay, this is also taking another risk, but I think it's well because he can take the thing. He's got things to check that with, so I just want to make it steal, not useful. I don't think this will work. Yeah, I didn't fall that words, but I didn't want him to steal it because he could kill me in one drop. Okay. I love it, just eats them.
Yep. Fuck it.
Yeah. Let's go back in it! I'm going to die a lot. Welcome to dying. Welcome to pain. How does this work with people who do? You know who the dog is, and you know that he won't run away. You're their doctor. This only works with people who don't know you. I'm like, I can probably see he's too much of an egotist that he probably does not know. Like, Bart's known enough that he should know who Bart is and know that Bart's not blind. He's like well known in town, and yet at the same time he's like, oh well, I can't see. It's like, excuse me. Question: do you actually believe this? I don't think I'm gonna win this. So
Let's talk about this, because this is going to get a bit dark. So yeah, Adolescence, which is a show that I watched because my mum was like, oh yeah, this is on Netflix and this exists, why don't we watch it? I'm like, why not? So I watched it. So the one thing I'm going to say, because most of this being murder mystery, has kind of spoilers because it's about who killed the person. So yeah, but the one thing that I am going to say is I like a lot of shows that do formats uniquely. Not only do you get 4 episodes of this series that at first glance will be seemingly not like unconnected, as in there's nothing between these things, nothing at all, no point to it. It's like no, there is a connection between all of these. There is a throughput of the murder, but it's not of a, so I'm a detective and I'm trying to solve the murder, or like I'm a junior cop and I'm looking at these murders. It's through like people's point of view alongside the one shot. One entire hour of a continuous shot. That is impressive about the amount of detail that they go between this. Because I was talking to my sister about this, and she was like, oh, this is one continuous shot. Because unlike shows like 1918, I think in 1918 where we did the war thing, people do know there's a couple of hidden cuts. And if you don't know what a hidden cut is where like you get a character, they go across the screen. This is not the best example. Oh yeah, this is a good example. They go across the screen. This will be shot 1. This will be shot 2. But as they sort of like go, ba-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, it's sort of like swap, so it looks like it's a continuous shot. But what I've heard, and you can kind of see, they don't have that. I was actually going through some moments being like, is that a hidden cut? Is that a hidden cut? Maybe you could have done a hidden cut here. And then some moments are like, maybe there is a hidden cut. But I don't know if there is. But this is interesting because of that. Well, one thing which I thought was really interesting was the idea that you don't have... This isn't good versus bad. It is, of sorts. But I like how you go to it more, you learn about why. And some other people pointed out really interesting, it's about like certain persons, like the father who sort of looked the other way, the system that when someone was getting bullied did nothing, and certain things. Like the one thing I also do like is, and people have pointed out that evidence just gets lost, is there's a thing where it's like, where's the knife? And the knife does not show up. There's not like, and then the knife's here, and here's the fingerprints. And I find it interesting. I also like one of the episodes, still dealing with it, is dealing with some people on the outside of the parents after you even get a thing is like, I'm gonna confess guilty. And it's like just showing the parents of like, this kid gets arrested who we sort of like see has done something bad. And like a lot of people are like, oh this and oh that, and it's really interesting. This show's really dark. And by showing, definitely in the first episode, by showing like, here's how we arrest someone. I don't know how accurate it is. But I do find it interesting. That's what I like about the show. It is fun, it is interesting, and I would recommend. This is good in that sort of way, as it sort of shows you. And I think the people who made it show something really interesting, where this is sort of like them talking about it. It's like, oh, why is there so many like knife crimes? Definitely in England, and it shows the reason why, and I like it. I know there's a lot on a Pacific theory that exists, but the show talks about it by basically showing it being stupid. So if you want to see that, talk to people, not people who promote the theory, because I do not, but people who probably know 10 times better what the thing is than I do, because I don't know it fully. I know it enough that gets why he sort of like, why he uses it as like this, sort of like, oh, there's this and this and this, and it's like, yeah, sure. But I don't know too much about it, which is, I'm going to say it, it's the 80-20, which is 80% of women are attracted to 20% of men. I don't care about that, so talk to people who know more about it, because I'm not in a relationship, so I can't say anything on that end, and I'm not a psychologist to disprove this tenfold who can like be like, here are 50 reasons why this doesn't make sense. But again, that's just a thing. I didn't really want to talk about it, hence why it's not on spoilers, but I was like, do you know what? People might bring that up, but I find it interesting how they bring this idea, which a lot of people be like, no. Some people who are left by themselves sometimes will go under this rhetoric, which I think is interesting. So I hope you enjoy, and good night.